Hi everyone, it's Roger here from what's on DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on Hulu+Live TV and Fubo TV merging. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So Disney has announced that it's been able to complete the deal between its Hulu+Live TV business and Fubo TV. So what that means is they're going to be bringing the two businesses together. Now, I'll just stress from the word off, they are currently saying that they're going to be keeping Hulu+Live TV and Fubo as separate entities, but together they're going to have lots of advantages of bringing content together, saving money, etc. But I'm going to get back to that in a little bit, just a little bit of information first off. So this kind of deal came about when Disney was teaming up with Warner Bros. Discovery and Fox to launch a new sports streaming service called Venue Sports. This was going to have all the content in there. However, that project never got off the grounds because Fubo was able to put in an injunction to stop the launch because they objected to the idea that Venue Sports was able to offer a sports package which they weren't, which was against the rules, and the courts decided to sort of temporarily stop the launch of Venue Sports. There was appeals, they kept didn't work. And in the end, Disney, Warner Bros. And Fox announced that they would not be launching Venue Sports. Since then, we've seen a few little different changes. For example, like some deals between, like, for example, you can combine ESPN with Fox One and all these kind of different options. But one of the big things that happened just after the announcement that Venue Sports wouldn't be happening was Disney was going to be merging its Hulu+Live TV business with Fubo. Now, it's kind of an interesting thing with this. It's not your typical kind of merger, it's just Disney buying Fubo. They brought like 70% of it. And it's kind of a weird thing really, because what they want to do is together they now say they've got over 6 million US subscribers between the two platforms, and it's going to make them the 6th biggest like streaming TV package in the US. And together they're going to be able to save money on marketing and being able to offer different things. Now currently they are very adamant about the fact that these two platforms are going to remain separate. However, I'm going to just say this. I don't believe this for 1 second because I think they're very similar. We're in that moment right now where we're seeing a lot of consolidation, lots of streaming services merging together. With Fubo TV and Hulu+Live together, you're then going to be able to compete with YouTube and other big platforms. I think it's going to happen. I know they're saying it's not, but let's just call it what it is. These things tend to kind of, they say, no, we're not going to change anything. And the minute once it gets all done, that's when they then make all the changes. Now, why do I think this is going to happen? First off, and this kind of was where it relates to Disney Plus, is in 2026, Hulu is going to be merging in with Disney Plus. And therefore, that Hulu app is going to be being taken away. And therefore, they might have to add Hulu+Live TV within Disney Plus. However, this is where things could get a little bit interesting. With them owning a massive chunk of Fubo, about 70%, it now means they could essentially just merge Hulu+Live TV into Fubo, and therefore Hulu lives on Disney Plus for the streaming side of things, and then the live TV, because they don't really have a huge amount of money from that. I think they've only really just got over like 1 million subscribers to Hulu+Live TV, so it's not a huge amount, but enough there to move them over to Fubo, keep that money coming in, and kind of deal with this whole Hulu situation where the branding can kind of get moved away and separate the live TV business from the streaming business. So that's where I think it's going to happen. According to Disney, their combined businesses are expected to realize cost, revenue, and operational synergies through content, cost saving achieved by more flexible programming packages, advertising optimization, sales, and marketing opportunities. The combined company will also have access to $145 million term loan from Disney that is committed to provide in 2026 as part of the transaction. Andy Bird, who is the chairman of the board of directors, said in a statement regarding the deal, "It's a privilege to join Fubo as chairman at such a transformative time for the company. Today's announcement brings together two industry-leading brands and a compelling set of resources that are uniquely positioned to meet the evolving needs of today's customer." David Gandler, who is the co-founder and CEO of Fubo, added, "Since Fubo's founding a decade ago, our vision has always been to build a consumer-first streaming platform defined by innovative and value. Together with Disney, we're creating a more flexible streaming ecosystem that gives consumers greater choice while delivering profitability and sustainable growth. We're also proud to reward our retail shareholders who have supported Fubo's mission from the beginning. We believe that the combination delivers the scale, scalability, and strategic clarity to create a lasting value for the consumers and shareholders and impact the future live streaming." With Fubo, it's kind of running as its own separate business. It's going to have the Fubo branding, and this is what I said about the fact that it just feels natural for the Hulu+Live TV element to be pushed over there. Now, whether or not Fubo TV eventually gets added into Disney Plus, we have the Live tab, and that's an add-on. That could be something that they could do. But for me, it's a bit more clarity of the fact that they really got an now and out to move that Hulu Live TV business over to a different brand and be able to compete them with YouTube. I also, and this is the kind of the thing with this whole business with Fubo, is I feel that the streaming TV element, which is basically just a cable light where people are moving away from cable to the streaming like TV, this to me feels like a business that is not going to continue to grow. It's just going to continue to get smaller and smaller. And while they say there's going to be growth, I'm not really too sure where that's going to come from, because more and more people are ditching cable, and do you really need those live TV channels? And more people are going to streaming. So this is kind of a way of them cutting down costs, bringing things together and being a bit more competitive. And as I said, I just think in the long run, do not be surprised if one day then we suddenly get Hulu Live TV. It's merging into Fubo, probably. And as I said, this will be a great thing for them to be able to link it up with. Essentially, they're closing down the Hulu app. So that Hulu Live TV stuff has to go somewhere. So it's either going to go into Disney Plus or into Fubo. So they could do both. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. Do you agree with me? Do you think it's eventually they're just going to get rid of that Hulu Live TV thing? Or are they going to, as they say, carry on as it is? But let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. And it's going to have a big impact, I think, on the future of Hulu, because there's just a massive element to that can now be shifted over somewhere else. And also whether or not this gets integrated into Disney Plus. Who knows? We could have a little Fubo area with live TV options. Again, it's just for US. Internationally, this is much more harder to do because of license and whether or not they even bother doing it. But let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. And I shall see you guys soon. Laters.